Hello, welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and today I'm so excited to actually just like slow things down and catch you guys up on what I've been up to as far as like since the year started. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And if you haven't yet, please consider following me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I've been really consistent on those platforms. And also check out my blog. I started a blog last year and it's been doing great. I write a couple times a month. Definitely check all those things out. I will leave everything in the description box below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Your girl has been doing great, thank God, by God's grace. A few things that have stood out so far in this year. Like I said, I don't know if I did a video on this last year, but this year I was really committed to just like becoming a little bit more wiser. I felt like I was just like walking around life just like doing any old thing, and I was just kind of like, yo, I am 27 now. This year I'm turning 28, and I'm just kind of like, we actually have to start leading life in a way that's like wiser, in a way that we're making decisions that actually make sense. Making decisions that make sense for not just life now, but also life in the future. So with that said, I've been really leaning into my health, my physical health. I've been leaning into my mental health, and I've also been leaning into my emotional health. It's been a lot. And one thing they don't tell you about working on yourself is sometimes it can be exhausting. It literally can be exhausting. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, I feel like I'm in between healing and healed. I mean, I know you will never really feel healed from certain things, but sometimes it feels like I'm making one step forward and I feel like I'm making 75 steps backwards, which is a good thing, because when I was talking to my therapist, she basically said like when you're uncovering, when you're rediscovering who you are, you know, unpacking some of the things that happened in your childhood, it can be a lot. It can be a lot to like deal with, and every new day you uncover ways in which you kind of like were interacting from a place of hurt. You were making decisions from a place of trauma, and actually having to be like, yo, now that I'm aware of this, what can I do moving forward, and all of those things. So for my spiritual health, what have I been doing? I actually got a book. Let me go get it. Hold on one second. So I got this book. It's by this company called Alabaster. They essentially, let me actually pause so you guys can see what it looks like. Essentially, they take books of the Bible and they turn it into like its own unique book. It is really pretty with different pictures. Like that's their logo right there. And this one is Proverbs, because like I said, I'm trying to be, you know, I'm trying to enter into the wisest season of my life, you know, with the things that I say, the things that I do, and all of those things. So like, yeah, it has like really pretty pictures. It's very calming. Like the pictures are not too all up in your face or you're feeling overwhelmed. So I literally, since the month that started, to pace myself, I'm not trying to like read through these and be like, I read the whole Proverbs and then I'm done. Like, no, I've been slowing down. I sometimes will read like a verse or two a day, and then I will journal about it. So I have a whole journal. This year I've been journaling a lot more. When I tell you, like, literally since the year started, I've been just like going back and like I'll read like a verse from the Proverbs book and just like unpack what does it mean for me, how does that impact my life now. Because again, the Bible was written, you know, many years ago, but some of the teachings, not some, all of the teachings in the Bible can be applied one way or the other. So I've really been taking my time with that book, reading a verse or two here and there, and then actually taking time to, you know, journal about it. The last time I actually got stuck because one of the verses, I was just kind of like, yo, this feels a little triggering to me. And I just like wrote in my journal, like, God, actually help me unpack this. Help me deal with whatever it is that you're trying to say in this. And I just like left it at that. What I'm learning these days is the best thing you can actually do for your relationship with Christ, the best thing you can do for your spiritual well-being, regardless of what you believe in, is to actually not show up pretending. And I'm realizing that for the longest, I went on about pretending. I pretended that I understood everything. I pretended that I was okay with some of the things that I was not okay with. I pretended as though I didn't have questions about some of the things that I'm reading in the Bible. But these days I'm just kind of like, yo, God is gonna get my honest, my most vulnerable, and my most authentic self. God deserves that. And honestly, I deserve that for myself. I deserve to actually be real about some of the things, some of the questions that I have, and some of the struggles that I have. So I've been really working on that book very, very slowly. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there are some days where I genuinely do not even want to open it, because sometimes when I read certain things, it then gets me into thinking, it gets me into a mode of like, okay, how does this apply here? How does this apply here? Does this apply? And some days I'm just kind of like, yo, God, I feel low-key drained, because again, the work it takes to work on yourself, whether spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and all of the things, the work it takes to actually walk into your healed version, to actually walk into your wisest season is a lot. And some days when I don't have it, I do not have it. I do not force myself. I do not pretend. I do not show up like, the Christian thing to do is to just keep pushing through and pretend as if everything is okay. No, what I would do instead is say a prayer like, Lord, I'm struggling. I really am struggling with discipline. I'm struggling with such and such. Help me. Really. Help me. I would literally say that and leave it at that. Another thing that I've been doing has actually been immersing myself in worship. So what that means is, even when I'm working out, I will still turn on worship music or just like some kind of positive music to get me like going. It's been so much so that there will be times I'm mid-plank and I'm just like, Jesus, if you yourself, you don't come down and help me right now, this plank is not getting done. I'm sorry. Basking into worship, having worship playing, as much as possible. I've even started sleeping with some worship music. I will put it either 0 or at volume 1, but just like surrounding myself with the presence of God even as I'm sleeping has just been, it's been helping me. I don't know if that's helpful to you at all, but it's been helping me feel, a lot more at peace, a lot more calm, and have a lot more beautiful nights. Like, it's just been amazing in that sense. So I have been doing that. On days where I don't feel like opening Proverbs and unpacking all of these things, I'll just turn on the preaching, sit down and journal about it. My favorite preachers right now, Sarah Jakes, love her. Darius Daniels is amazing. I think he's very thoughtful and the things that he says be making sense. And obviously Stephen Furtick, I've always enjoyed his preaching. I'll usually rotate among the 3 of them, or sometimes if I find something random like on YouTube, I'll check it out and see. As far as mentally, I am still in therapy, and when I tell you, the work of therapy is a lot. There are days where I'm just kind of like, yo, I feel like I've made 10 steps forward, but then I feel like I've just reversed and skelewood my way all the way back to my toxic trait. It's just it's an ongoing, constant, you get it right, you don't, and it's just kind of constantly evolving. And my therapist has been telling me that that's okay. It's okay that you don't have, everything figured out, and nobody's ever fully healed. You're constantly healing, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly becoming a better version of yourself. I'm realizing there's so many decisions that I've made from a place of trauma, from a place of hurt, from a place of disappointed, and it's really shaped the way that I am and the way that I view the world. And so having to, one, unlearn all those things, be aware of the things first, then unlearn them, and then now program your mind to actually think new thoughts and to make new decisions from a healed version, from a healed place. That is stressful. I ain't even gonna hold you. That is very, very stressful. But I've been doing the work. One thing about me, we are breaking generational curses. We are actually walking into a healed version of ourselves so that we do not make the same mistakes people before us made. We're not about to do that. We're gonna do better. We're gonna be thriving. We're gonna be moisturized. We're gonna be doing all of the things. So that's that on that. Physically, your girl is still struggling. I ain't even gonna hold you. Your girl is still struggling. What I will say though, I have been doing much, much better at being consistent. I've since this year began, I've actually worked out 4 times a week. I've worked out 4 times a week. A few of those times were at the gym, and the rest of them were like home workouts where I'll do like a 35, sometimes a 40-minute workout at home. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to go to the gym a little bit more. I would love to, get that motivation and get myself out of the door. But the truth is, I'm just not there yet. And I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with just, being accountable with actually physically going to the gym. But as far as like working out, I've been trying to stay on top of it. Because honestly, less is more. Like if we're going to be keeping it real, less sometimes is more, because there is no point in me trying so hard to fit in an hour and a half or 2 hours to drive myself to the gym and drag myself around only to be working out for maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes or so in between commuting and all of that stuff and feeling discouraged along the way, as opposed to actually just like setting aside 30 minutes within my home and actually working out and taking my workout seriously, where I'm not at the gym discombobulated, just like scrolling my phone and doing all of those things. It's easier for me personally when I was having my personal trainer, or when I used to go like, with my friend, just like going with somebody keeps me accountable. Not having that, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that has been a struggle. Your girl has been struggling in that area, but we're getting it together. We're still getting in our workouts. My eating habits have literally improved at least 80%. I am not just eating any old thing. I'm not just drinking any old thing. And that's on growth. That's on growth. That's on Jesus, baby Jesus, and therapy. That's on growth. Because my biggest thing has always been food. Like I'll go to the gym, I'll work out. I'll be at home, I'll work out. But what I be eating, it don't always be in my best interest. So I've really been consistent, and I'm very proud of myself. We talk about giving up on your goals, after like the first 2 weeks of January, but baby, I've been going strong. This is January 25. And I've been doing well, so I'm not even rushing myself. This is a lifestyle now. This is not just like, a diet for me to lose a couple pounds. Like, no, these are lifestyle changes that I've been making, and I'm just like, we love to see it, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So yeah, those are the main things that I've noticed have been different since the year started. So I'm really excited. I feel like this year is just gonna be a different year. Like last year was already amazing. I ain't even gonna hold you. 2022 was good to me. Like 2022, I uncovered a lot of myself, and I feel like this year is gonna be even better. I've actually been doing thrifting. I've been going to Goodwill a lot. I've gotten a couple pieces from Goodwill. I've been just like glamorizing my life. I threw a tea party, an old English tea party, which was amazing. I was excited about that. It came out beautiful. Everybody dressed up. It was nice. For the month of February, I'm gonna be hosting a little Galentine's brunch, a little get together. So I really have been intentional. I've really been intentional with creating a beautiful space, within my home, with my friends and my family, and just like basking in the joy that God has really given me, essentially. So yeah, 2023 has started off really great. I'm very excited, and I cannot wait to see what else comes up, out of this year. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And please help your girl out on all the other social platforms. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, on TikTok, and all of the things, the handles are all here. Definitely check me out. Just like show me some love, and let me know down below what are some of the changes that you've implemented for 2023, and how has it been going for you. I would really love to hear. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, Z's.